I think with the lack of edge rush, I think we need to have more blitz packages. Like Fred Warner so fast, have him come in and do some blitzes. And it could be a couple of things too. Maybe with Reuben Foster not being there, which I'm glad he'll be there this week. With him not being there, I think maybe, if you blitz somebody like a Fred Warner, that's going to leave open the middle too much.
Yeah.
So I think now that Reuben's coming back, I think now you can have some packages where you can blitz Tart, Warner, Foster, and you can still have them covering the underneath routes. Because I think that's what the issue is right now. Because they were killing us underneath.
Are you listening?
Damn. Ronbo Sports here, representing the Niner Empire organization worldwide, where football season just never ends. Fam! Fam, we've been 1-1 before, but when was the last time we were 2-1? It's a big possibility, okay? I've had enough of being afraid of the Chiefs. I just realized something. Let me ask you this question. Do you think that the Chiefs are better than the Vikings? Think about that for a minute. Yeah, we lost to the Vikings. How many points did we lose to the Vikings by? We lost to the Vikings by 8 points. And why? We blew that game. I know, I'm not going to get into it, but I'm just saying. I think this fear of the Chiefs is unwarranted. Let me go ahead and break this down. I want you to feel as good as I do about this game coming up this Sunday, okay? Now, I'm not one who believes in conspiracy theories, not really. But I do hear the complaints, and I also can go along with it. Where is the defense that helps us get to the quarterback? By design, we didn't see anything that pleased us, right? There was Matthew Stafford back there standing in the pocket, pretty much being able to dictate on his own terms what he wants to do. And everybody was saying, Saleh, do something, man. If you can't get to him with the four-man rush, do something. See, you know what I got a feeling, fam? I got a feeling, going back to conspiracy theory, I have a feeling that the 49ers knew that they could beat the Lions. They were doing fine until the fourth quarter with the four-man rush that we're complaining about as well. The game was well in hand in the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden it got loose and it got a little crazy. The fact is, I think the 49ers have saved something for the Chiefs that they didn't want to expose. I know, it's not the kind of thing we should be doing, but I do think the 49ers held back. All those things we're thinking about we should have seen, we're going to see this Sunday. Young Patrick Mahomes is a rookie. Stafford is a vet. If you want to do something special, who's going to react to it in the least favorable way for the 49ers? Yeah, little Patty. He's going to be little Patty from now on. So I'm thinking okay, let's see what happens this Sunday. And as far as the Chiefs go, the run game, where is it? I know they got Kareem Hunt, but what has Kareem Hunt done since last year? Last year, Kareem Hunt started off the season a ball of fire. He was the rage all over the league. He was the running back for most of the season until the last 2 or 3 games. All of a sudden, Hunt started tapering off. It's like somebody else pointed out, and Red Gold Radio made me laugh. It's true, too. The Chiefs start out each and every year a house of fire. And then they just slowly trickle into nothingness, go into the playoffs and get beat out the first round. Maybe they've changed, maybe they've not. But Kareem Hunt still looks the same as he did toward the end of last season. Now, if Kareem Hunt has plans on getting his game on track this Sunday, I don't think so. You see that number right there? Yes. Reuben is back. And he already knows Kareem Hunt. Anyway, they used to hang out on the gridiron. Boom, bang, bam. And listen, here's the thing. Not only does Mr. Hunt have to worry about Reuben, and I figure Reuben's not going to be starting this game. I'm just thinking they're probably going to try to bring Reuben back in slowly. I imagine it's going to be Fred Warner and Malcolm Smith, who seems like he's going to be coming into this game as well. So you start the game with Fred and Malcolm, you rotate Reuben in, and check him out and see how he's doing, his wind and everything, if he can hang in there and give you 100%. If not, you can see a lot more Reuben And I know, Fred's got to pay a little more dues. They're going to give him the veteran thing. They're going to give Malcolm Smith a little more time. They're going to let Fred work his way in. But at some point during the course of the season, it's going to be Fred and Reuben. You and I both know this. Oh, God, yes. And I mention that because the fact of the matter is, the pass rush. You see, the pass rush of the Chiefs, it's worse than ours, fam. Really. The Chiefs have no serious threat. I'm watching Ben Roethlisberger. I'm watching Phillip Rivers. They're sitting back in the pocket. They got all day to throw. Roethlisberger, I think he was trying to do too much. He's sitting back in that pocket for the longest time. He's scaling the field. You know, I think he was going for the home run when all the middle of the field was open all the time. Let me go to that right now. Reggie Ragland. Anthony, Hitchens? You can work that part of the field all day long. I was watching him, I said, I know if I see that, Kyle seeing that too. If Keith is on his way back, oh man, the secondary and that mid-range, I'm telling you, if Keith's on his way back, all right, I was looking at, Roethlisberger was also working, Juju was doing a job on him. I said, who does Juju remind you of on the 49ers roster? Pierre Garçon, Dante Pettis. Fuller was getting killed. What do you think Pettis is going to do to him? Garçon. Now you got Jimmy G sitting back there with all that time I'm talking about. It's going to be a field day. If Marquise Goodwin is feeling good, Marquise Goodwin is feeling good, and that's going to that changes the dynamic of any defense. Everybody has, because Goodwin runs mid-range routes, he runs deep, he runs he runs all over the field. So the defense is going to be held honest all over the field. That's going to open up a lot of lanes and a lot of spaces for everybody else can eat. I feel very confident about this game. That's why I'm going on and on. They can't stop the 49ers from scoring. So if they're going to try to run that game we're going to last longer than you guys go into the fourth quarter. I don't think so, because here's the thing. The tight end play as well. You see, Jesse James, the outlaw Jesse James of the Steelers, 138 yards. They was eating. I don't know what they do. I don't know why they would. They were eating up. The Chiefs couldn't stop Jesse James for 138 yards. Juju Smith-Schuster, 120-something yards. I said, oh, wait a minute. Ben, why don't you just work those two guys all day? You got it open because they weren't running any. Apparently, Chris Conner had gotten shut down. They just he got a few yards, but not like he did the week before. So now I'm thinking to myself, visions of grandeur. Oh, this defense is ripe for picking. Now, the 49ers go out there, we will have a run game, right? The 49ers go out there and get the run game going because the offensive line, I don't care what anybody says, the offensive line is looking a lot better. You can't spring a running back for 138 yards and you ain't doing nothing. That offensive line is getting a lot better. And Jimmy G, it wasn't the offensive line's fault that he got sacked. G was not releasing as quick as he should have. Why? Because the fact is he didn't have the wide receivers open that he thought he had. Here's another thing. If this week, I think Jimmy's visual will improve because each and every week it seems like he's getting better. He's better the second week than he was the first week. I think now, if Marquise Goodwin is back, all that time in the pocket too, the 49ers will control that clock with the run game and the passing game with the first downs one after another. Ben Roethlisberger and company didn't do that. They should have. Before you say the Steelers are better than the 49ers, I don't know about that. Why did they play the Cleveland Browns to a tie? You got to put all this together. Now, see, that's what I'm saying. Don't underrate the 49ers and overrate everybody else. This team is ripe for the picking. Tight end play, as I told you, if Jesse James can do that, what do you think George Kittle's going to do? Garrett Selleck, Jimmy G, Selleck, Kittle, Goodwin. We got a lot of weapons. I'm not disrespected. I am not disrespecting the Chiefs. But I do say that thing about we'll beat you, we'll score 103 and you'll score 102. That's going to play out, okay? Because for one thing, I know about Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill. They got that kid Chris Conley will hurt you as well, Sammy Watkins. They're only going to do so much on the 49ers secondary anyway because Richard Sherman is still going to take half the field away. The funny thing somebody pointed out, though, I have to go along with this, though. If the Chiefs are smart, you run Tyreek Hill against Richard Sherman. He does not do his best work against really quick, small guys. But he is Richard Sherman. He will figure that out. Tyreek Hill didn't do that well. Actually, he didn't do that well against the Steelers. It's very odd. He came on in the second half, but they kind of contained Tyreek Hill. You can contain Tyreek Hill with a strategy. You've got to deploy that, though. If he gets loose, he's going to hurt you. The first game, Tyreek Hill had 169 yards. The second game, they slowed him all the way down. Tyreek Hill can't be contained. We can do this. You got to worry about the rest of the weapons, though. As I say, this game, I'm telling you, fam, it's winnable. Tell you what, let's go ahead to the cam. I want to get your feelings on the game we just had against the Lions, and I really want to know what you feel, what's about to happen against the Kansas City Chiefs. Reuben. On the cam. Now, fam, we've heard from a lot of people on this ball game. Mostly everybody's upset. This is why I want to introduce you've seen Teran on numerous, we've done a lot of things, and Teran's been involved. Teran was the one. As a matter of fact, Teran, I think, predicted some of the players we got on the squad during our segment where we always like to predict the roster coming from the draft. Teran, what's up?
Nothing much, Ronbo. Long time no see, man. I'm glad to be back on the show.
It's great to see you again, too, fam. Well, we got our season's underway, and Teran, as you know, a lot of people are upset about the game. So we've heard a lot of upset things, and maybe you are too. But I'm asking you, did you take any positives from that game that you think will benefit us going forward?
Yeah, the positive is we got the W, and we're only a game behind the Rams.
Amen to that. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. But as far as the game went and some of the things that took place in the game, you want to? Is there some things that you did not appreciate? Some things you did appreciate? What do you think is going on?
Well, yeah, I think. Let me go with the stuff I didn't appreciate.
All right.
What I didn't appreciate was it looks like the defense, and they get back to fundamentals. There was a lot of poor tackling out there. I mean, a lot of people going for the big hit, not wrapping up. I mean, there was a couple plays where, like, I think, even though Elijah Lee had a good game, but there was a couple plays where he just tried to hit the guy, and it was like, dude, and he got ran over one time, and it's like, come on, man. I think there was a couple times on third down as well, which was kind of irritating. It's like, man, we could have had the ball back. So poor tackling was one. So that was one of the things I saw on defense. Everybody's kind of upset with Witherspoon right now and how he played, but I mean, he did have a bad game. But what I don't get is like the stuff that it seemed like went wrong, stuff that we got taught when we were like in Pop Warner. Like, like I said, like the poor tackle was one, but then like I think the first time the Lions got into the red zone, I want to say, is when the Marvin Jones caught that touchdown. There was no jam at the line of scrimmage. They let the man just run free in that slant and caught that touchdown. I'm like, man, I think Witherspoon was on, and Witherspoon was giving just a quick jam, not mess up the timing. It would have been all good, but I mean, Marvin, I think me and you could have caught a touchdown on that one.
I know,
he was so.
Yeah. Teran, you bring up something like, it seems that is a problem throughout the NFL. I've seen many games where guys would take that missile to the body shot and miss. If I was a coach, and if you were the coach, you might say the same thing. Guys, I want to see that only if you know for sure it's going to work. If you miss, I'm going to have something to say when you come back to the sideline. Wrap the dude up, because I see that all the time. And since we're talking about defense, is Robert Saleh is it his instruction during the course of the week? Is he calling the wrong plays? Are guys being knuckleheads out there and not doing anything? Because if we were to have Robert, what's going on with your defense? If he were to say things like, how he starts off everything, you know what? Some of the things you're seeing out there, I have nothing to do with. I could see him saying something like that. What do you think's going on with that, though? Could we hold Robert Saleh responsible, or is it the guys on the field?
I think it's both. I think he's not being too aggressive with his play calling. Yeah. Because we do have a lack of edge rusher right now. I mean, I think Solomon Thomas, first and foremost, needs to be an inside guy. Yeah. He's not an edge. He doesn't have that quickness to. To beat the tackles like that. Him and Buckner should be playing side by side, I believe. Yeah. But, inside. But I think with the lack of edge rush, I think we need to have more blitz packages. Like Fred Warner so fast, have him come in and do some blitzes. And it could be a couple of things too. Maybe with Reuben Foster not being there, which I'm glad he'll be there this week. With him not being there, I think maybe, if you blitz somebody like a Fred Warner, that's going to leave open the middle too much.
Yeah.
So I think now that Reuben's coming back, I think now you can have some packages where you can blitz Tart, Warner, Foster, and you can still have them covering the underneath routes. Because I think that's what the issue is right now, because they were killing us underneath.
And we're all saying that. The thing is, everybody is suggesting, where was the blitz, Robert? Where was the blitz? I wonder, what is he saying or thinking? Because he's getting hit with this question probably all day, every day. We're not capable of rushing 4 and expecting the guy to come off the Leo spot and apply pressure, just like you mentioned. So I theorize with, why are we not blitzing?
Yeah, I don't get it either. I think the only reason why is like what I kind of mentioned earlier, is because of the lack of presence underneath. Because, if you blitz, let's just say Fred Warner comes up the middle on the blitz, you're leaving that wide open because, Mark Zoch is playing on the end and all that. So I think that could be the issue too. I think we're going to see a little bit more aggressive play calling now that Reuben Foster is coming back.
Yeah.
Because people are going to think twice catching over the middle with him sitting there.
Yeah. And plus, it's so funny because Fred and Reuben, it's like having two mics out there. Because did you notice on some of the plays how Fred reacted properly, and just about almost 70, I'd say 80% of the plays, Fred knew what was bubbling before it even came up. Reuben has that capacity as well. Now you've got two alpha dog mics out there. I think we got something going in that linebacking crew. And you know what? I drop Fred back in coverage every time. Let Reuben handle everything up front. They could be the best 1-2 combination in the NFL.
Oh, sure.
Gosh, yes.
And, too, I know. And too, with the size of Fred Warner and his speed, I'd like to see him shadow Travis Kelce a lot.
He's gonna be, he's on it. That's who's gonna get the assignment on Travis. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh sure. He has this. He was a 6'3". He has a size, speed, and he's quick too. A couple plays where he was in there like a heat-seeking missile. He's quick.
He really is. And for that kind of size, that's a complete freak. Travis Kelce has no idea. Let's talk about the Chiefs. All right, the Chiefs are beating people by outrunning them to the fourth quarter buzzer. The Chiefs aren't playing any defense. They worry me because of the fact that you watch it. I'm telling you, Mahomes, I didn't know he was going to look this good. Teran, he's freaking me out. I watched him yesterday, and he's like a refinement of Colin Kaepernick. He's actually throwing those guys open with bullet-like passes, things that are on the frozen rope right to where it's supposed to be. Apparently the Chiefs have worked on it enough. They've got the timing down and they're catching that ball because it's not ripping through their hands. I hate to say it. Teran, I'm a little concerned about this dude, man. Are we going to be able to run with these guys?
Well, I don't know. I think with Sherman having that little pep talk he had, I'm glad that he came out and said what he said.
I am too.
And was like, look, we need to learn how to close these games out. We got too soft letting these guys, we're up 27-13.
Gospel truth.
And it's kind of just let them keep getting into the game. So I think with Sherman, talking to these guys, letting them know, like, look, when we put our foot on the gas, we can't let off. Foster coming back. So, like you said, Chiefs have a sketchy defense. Our defense is not bad. Like I think somebody mentioned before, the Vikings, as good as they are, only scored 2 offensive touchdowns against us. Mm-hmm. So I think if we can, I think with Marquise Goodwin coming back, that's going to change the play calling. Because did you see that game after the Vikings? Some beat writer came on and said that a Vikings player stated in the press conference that when Marquise Goodwin got out of the game, it changed their game plan because they don't have to worry about getting beat deep. But now they're going to have to. Mm-hmm. So I think with Marquise coming back, it'll open up stuff more underneath. George Kittle's been doing his thing. Mm-hmm. I think Jimmy G, he needs to let go of that ball a little quicker, though. Mm-hmm. Seems like he's a little timid in the pocket. Mm-hmm. I wish he'd run a little bit more.
I know. And you mentioned Marquise. You're right. Jimmy's having to, like you said, he's studying instead of going through progressions. He's waiting for guys to break free. He's had bad experience with throwing into spots. And Kendrick Bourne, Kendrick, I love you, man. I'm going to use an example. Jimmy's thrown into a spot and nobody's there. It gets picked off. Jimmy gets blamed for it. Then we find out later, in this case, somebody fell down or ran the wrong route. I said, Kendrick, you can't fall down, or you can't forget to run the right route. So Jimmy's kind of maybe he's a little gun shy out there now. I hope he doesn't. I don't want him to stop trusting his receivers. Garcon came through for him in this last game, so hopefully he gets back on his horse, starts trusting his guys, and start throwing right. What do you think?
Seems like and it seems like Jimmy's playing better in the shotgun just because he's getting a little bit more time to throw the ball.
Yeah.
So I think to point match the Chiefs, I would like to see a lot of 3 and 4 receiver sets going on to the game. Because I honestly don't think that Chiefs have the corners to cover our receivers.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think with Marquise Goodwin, you let him. I mean, you can't let him do a go route every time, but they're going to have to account for that man's speed. I know Eric Berry's going to be helping over the top. You have to. I mean, even though they have a similar player in Tyreek Hill, that's the dude I'm worried about. He's who I'm worried about.
Boy, me too. Him and Sammy Watkins, they both got too much speed for me. Yeah,
got speed. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's going to be hard with Tyreek Hill because once again, Adrian Coper's going to have to help over the top too. But I would like to see, honestly, DJ Reed get put on him.
Especially since Adrian Colbert's got to pull that hammy. It happened him this past week. I could tell that wasn't Adrian Colbert. He was wearing Adrian Colbert's number, but that wasn't Adrian Colbert. He wasn't laying any hardcore stings. He was trying to be tentative on that leg. I could tell. You're right. DJ Reed would be the answer. And DJ's got speed.
I think, he has speed and he's physical.
Yeah.
See, the thing about Sherman. Sherman and Witherspoon, as good as Sherman is, he can't keep up with a Tyreek Hill.
No.
He's too shifty for him. He's too, he needs to, I think you need to put him on either Watkins or, Chris Conley or whatever the case may be. But I think DJ Reed, you have him mirror Tyreek Hill with Adrian Colbert helping over the top. Put either Witherspoon or Sherman on Watkins, and then have it from there. Then you have Fred Warner, covering Travis Kelce, and then with Reuben Foster coming back, he can sit underneath routes just in case they try to do some dump offs to Kareem Hunt. So I don't know. I think the Chiefs are going to fall at some point.
They got a lot of weapons.
They're not going to. Patrick Mahomes ain't going to throw 5 touchdowns a game on average. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, what is it? 6 TDs. He's got 10 TDs on 2 games. You're right. 5. That's averaging 5 a game.
Yeah.
They got to, you're right. You got to slow that offense down. And everybody's thinking what Patrick likes to do, what the Chiefs like to do. Tyreek Hill is something no matter if you get enough film on or not, it really makes no difference. You've got to strategize against him, just like teams have to strategize against Marquise Goodwin. But could that be the formula as to why the defense is so stretched out? Because Tyreek Hill didn't even make a catch in this last game until the second half. They didn't even target him.
Exactly.
Strange.
Yeah, and I think the only catch he had, it was a touchdown.
Yeah.
So
God. So you see, that's why. But you know what? Marquise Goodwin runs better routes than Tyreek Hill. He's added to his game, and this is why Marquise actually is a bigger factor, because the fact is he can run a slot route coming from the edge. He can run a go route, of course. Everybody knows he can do that. But Marquise can make Jimmy G all of a sudden. That's his safety net. That's his blanket. That's why when we say, look how fast he gets rid of that ball. Look who he's throwing to. The man is like a bullet coming across the middle of the field. And if anything, Jimmy G has to hurry up before it's too late, which makes him look even faster. So, we got a thing going on with that team this week, as long as we can cover Tyreek Hill, because I think Sammy Watkins is going to be a problem too, but Richard Sherman knows him too well, so we'll see. You got to make a score, don't you? This is that kind of commitment where every week people it's a hard game to choose. What do you think?
Well, this is not going to be a homer pick. This is really what I feel.
Yeah.
I think that, and I mentioned this on Twitter earlier, the Chiefs are going to be watching film over the last 2 games with no Reuben Foster on the field and no Marquise Goodwin.
Oh, that's true.
So with them not being in the game plan, as far as looking at film from the Lions game, they're going to say, okay, this is what the 49ers been running.
Wow.
So I think we're going to change it up a little bit, and they're not going to know what hit them. So they're going to score their points, but I think so do we. I think this is where Jimmy G gets the fans more laxed, because I know they've been people have been on and off on Jimmy G, like, is he going to do this, do that? I don't know if he's worth the money. I'm like, calm down. It's been 2 games. We have a whole hurt O-line, but I'm going to say Niners 34, Kansas City Chiefs 28. I think we upset them in Arrowhead.
See, I know people are looking at us, especially me, because I'm the guy every week. As you mentioned the word homer, I have actually earned that merit, I must say. But listen, Teran's right, and he pointed out exactly as to why, and I had forgotten all about the fact that they got no film on Keys. They got no film on Reuben other than last year. They don't know what to expect from those two. Not really. Kyle may, for all they know, Kyle may have changed everything since last year, especially with Marquise. Reuben, you got an idea of what he's capable of because you know what he did last year. And he's not going to change dramatically unless they're going to position him differently or something like that. But you know he's going to sting you. And I noticed they're not even using their running back nearly as much as they did last year.
Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, Kareem sort of fell off the last part of that last year's anyway. How he won the league leading rusher is amazing because, as I say, he's starting tapering off toward the last 3 games or so. And all of a sudden, Kansas City started going toward other weapons. More Kelce, Tyreek Hill. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting game because I'm watching what they're doing, and Patrick Mahomes brings a whole other dynamic. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do this, or how the 49ers. But Kyle Shanahan, I have a feeling, somebody suggested that maybe Kyle didn't even open up a lot of plays because he didn't want Kansas City, which is going to be a more difficult opponent, to be able to check things out and use it against us. So we went like nearly vanilla against a team that they thought they were going to beat. We almost lost that game doing that. But I don't think the 49ers really applied themselves in full force against the Lions like they are coming up this Sunday. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Teran, man, I feel better already just having talked to you. I knew this was a good talk to have.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, man. Yes. All right. Looking forward to that. We'll be talking after that game as well. Teran, you know you gotta give the holler, Teran. Sure. But Teran's already alerted me to the fact that he's got to keep it down. Teran, let me give you. Are you ready for the shout out? Give me the silent. I love the silent shout out. It's the best actually. 3, 2, 1.
49ers. Go Niners. We're going to have that upset this week.
That's the polite shout out when people are sleeping.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Teran. Always a pleasure. I'm going to run down a little history to you. The series between the Kansas City Chiefs and the 49ers, it goes back all the way, I think 71. I saw records all the way back to 71 or something like that. It's 7-5. 49ers lead the series. Here's the weird thing about it. Neither team has won in the other team's park. We got that going against us, don't we? Tradition. History. Joe Montana actually was in a Kansas City Chiefs uniform and beat us one time, too. I hate that. The thought of that just bothers me. But, you know, that's history. That's how it went. We have that going against us. Arrowhead Stadium is going to be very loud and very crazy, and I don't know if the 49ers have gotten used to that yet. We heard a lot of that against the Vikings. I think maturity levels may be at the point now where they may be able to still focus and play. So we got that going against us, but I'm telling you right now, fam, all the things I pointed out just a little while ago, they all fall in our favor. I refuse to believe the intensity of the Chiefs is going to be better than that of the Vikings. We can deal with that defense, control the clock. We got a run game. Keep the Chiefs sitting on their offensive butts, and we win that game. With that said, I got the 49ers, 4 touchdowns. And maybe Robbie has to come out for one shot between the goal balls. The Chiefs, I give them 3 TDs and maybe 1 field goal. You had to do the math. 31, 24, 49ers. We win this one. One day I might tell you we're going to lose a game or I won't give you a score. I'm telling you right now, fam, relax. I believe we got this. Road game, it'll be history because we'll beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead Stadium. We never have beaten them since God knows when. 82 was the last year we beat them. We come full circle. It's 2018. It's time for that jinx to end. I'll be in your face at your place to check this out together. I'll see you this weekend before that game anyway, but we'll be watching that game together. Fam, don't forget to hit me some like. You know it. Like, share, and subscribe, fam. I can't wait till this game. This is the litmus test. How tough are the 49ers? How much heart they got? How bad do they want to be champions? Let's go, Niners! Count me down!
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Niners! The sacred stone.